within children's social services. They are recruiting whole gangs of child traffickers into social services. A lot of them come from Africa and India, and so we have been trying to raise awareness. Hello, Billy. Hello, Lucy. I know some of the people on here. That makes me feel a bit better, because a lot of you won't know who I am because you don't see my posts. It's quite astounding, the scale of it, and Angie has been doing a lot of research too. There is on the government webpage, there's a thing called assets, and under assets on a government webpage you can put in adoption and fostering agencies, and that you can print out the whole list. There's hundreds, literally hundreds and hundreds of these private fostering agencies, and they are just a facade. They are not real fostering agencies. They are being run by people with links to things like logistics, meat factories, taxi firms, adrenochrome bioscience labs, which is adrenochrome and stem cell harvesting. It's just staggering the amount of child trafficking that is going on through social services is absolutely staggering. And one of the first social workers we investigated was one from up here in Cumbria, and he was trafficking children to the Middle East. So they're not just taking them and selling them here, they're selling them abroad as well. And that was a research hospital called Sidra Research Hospital, and that was actually built by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, that hospital, and they're researching genomics on our children. So this has been, we've been investigating this for 2 years, and we took them to the police when we had solid evidence, and of course they didn't do anything about it. MPs know what's going on and they're not doing anything about it. It's just hidden. This subject is completely hidden, and it's forced adoption and risk to future emotional harm. And we've been trying to even get a petition going to make a public inquiry, because what I'm doing is collecting people's stories. So what you do, you send it to Jane Elspeth at just one sec. Jane Elspeth at protonmail.com. That's Jane Elspeth at proton.
Can you spell that out, Jane? Because I can't.
Yes, it's
just spell it out.
It's JaneElspeth at proton, PROTON, mail, MAIL.com. And what we're doing is collecting thousands of stories. You can do it anonymously. You can do it briefly. It's just evidence that this is a systematic abuse and corruption within the family courts and through forced adoption. And we are hoping to take this for a public inquiry to the European Human Rights Court, to Parliament, but it won't go anywhere in Parliament, but to the Human Rights Court. So we literally have hundreds and, well, thousands. We want thousands of stories so that when we go to the Human Rights Court, they can see what is happening in the UK with our children. And this is the only way to do it, that we've tried every other way. Now this week, on Thursday, I've just printed this off here because it's on my phone, but on Thursday in Birmingham, It is the British Association of Social Workers Conference and Festival and their annual general meeting 2022, and they are meeting on Thursday the 16th and the 17th of this month. That's Thursday and Friday. I know it's short notice, but I have been trying to get it out on platforms and I've just not been able to. The key people, we've got a whole group now, a massive, actually quite a large group now of really strong front, we're on the front line, you know, in this not protest but campaigning for this, and we're all, well, not all of us are going to be there, but quite a few of us are going to be there tomorrow. Not tomorrow, we're leaving tomorrow night, but we'll be there Thursday morning at 8:30. That's their registration time, 8:30, and the venue is at the Teaching and Learning Building, the University of Birmingham. So that's the Teaching and Learning Building, University of Birmingham, and that postcode is B15 2TT. We've got a massive loudspeakers, we've got a huge speaker system, so they'll be able to hear us inside and outside. And we are going to be reeling off the names of every social worker that we have found that are child traffickers. We are going to make this big. This is going to be, we're going to try and get people there to report on it. We don't know if we'll be able to, but we are going to make this big. There's actually a D notice on the press. There's a D notice on me, you know what I mean, because I can't get anything out anyway. But there's a D notice on the press. That is a threat to national security. And we have had a politician tell us, Neil McCabe, told us that if this comes out, it will cause a civil war. That is how big it is. They are building a whole like economy on child trafficking. It is a £60 billion industry a year, and that's just how much we know of. But the private social workers, yes.
Can you just let everybody know that you're not crazy? Because whenever people speak out about stuff like this and they don't realise it's true, people go, oh, something's wrong, and this is why so many people end up getting sectioned because they're speaking out. Can you just let people know that you're very of the same mind? You know,
yes, I am very, very same mind. Well, the police. If I wasn't telling the truth, and this has been through 2 years of research, not just myself, but other people that have been researching this. This is, you know, we have been doing. Watching them. We've hired, we got a caravan for a social worker so that we could see. That was the one that was trafficking to the Middle East. We've actually been very active in not just looking, like, you know, online, but actually looking and surveillancing. And so I'm with my hand on my heart, I am not mad. The police arrested me. They're trying to shut me up. They said that it was hate speech because I was talking about
it's just because whenever sorry Jane, it's just because whenever anybody challenges the government or the system or challenges the truth of people in power, they automatically get shunned as crazy because it's unbelievable stuff. So people will say, oh, they're going mad, section them. So many people have been sectioned because of speaking out, because of wanting the truth out there.
Well, we have Simon Parry, who has been a very loud activist in London and Manchester right through the lockdown. He did an interview with me on the 14th of February. It was his first main interview with me about the child trafficking, and on the 16th of February they issued an arrest warrant for him, and ever since then he's been in a psychiatric hospital. They've just put him on a Section 3. We went to see him on Saturday. We managed to get round the back where we knew he was being, his room was, and we spoke to him, and all he could say to us was, I hope you're still trying to get me out of here. So anybody that's speaking out about the child trafficking through social services, hello Teresa, I can just see Teresa, a friend of mine.
Have you watched Louise Woods? Is it Louise Woods? Oh, is it Louise Woods from Lancashire? Okay, she spoke. She was a senior social worker. Carol.
Yes.
She was a senior social worker in Lancashire, and she was asked by social services. She noticed documents changing and more documents appearing from thin air, basically, on her cases.
Yeah.
And she questioned this. And then she was told to alter documents in favour by the legal department of the social services. She was asked to alter documents in favour of the authority to remove people's children. And when she refused, they basically got rid of it, made out she was crazy, everything else, put her in a mental asylum, in fact, didn't they? Ruined her.
That's right. She's out now. If you want to meet her, she goes to the she goes to the library. Where we can talk to her. We can't go to the house. So what I was going to, so this is an international, this is international. This has come from the UN. There was a meeting in 2012, the International Federation of Social Workers, and they said that they felt compelled to comply with the New World Order. This is the International Federation of Social Workers. This was set up in World War II, and just before World War II, by Hitler, the International Federation of Social Workers. And what they were doing then in World War II, they are doing now. They are doing research on our children. They are holding them in closed homes where they can't get out. You know, they're sticking dolls' orders on them if they try to speak out. It's just horrific what's going on. And the heads of children's services, we have whistleblower social workers that come and tell us that they are doing their reports and doing their jobs properly, reports on how to help a family, and the heads of children's services are telling them to ignore all of that and just go and get a court order. And we've heard this over and over again through whistleblower social workers. And so we know it is an agenda, it is a government agenda, but we also have foster social workers that are rogue social workers that are actually trafficking the children through their own homes and selling the children. Once they go out of duty of care of the council, which they've regionalised adoption agencies now, so that they're all corporate businesses. They privatised the whole of fostering and adoption over the last 10 years. They had to have it set up by 2020. And we believe that's because they knew what was coming with the lockdowns, because over lockdown, we estimate that they have taken and disappeared 230,000 children. This is the national crisis that a politician told us that if this came out, it would cause a civil war. That is Neil McCabe from Reform UK. He told a journalist that, and the journalist told me. So yeah, I think that's it. So I'll just again tell you about this. There's another protest in London on the 29th of August. I think we're going to be in Green Park. This is specifically for the children. And we need numbers out on the street. In France, as we speak, a family have rallied together thousands of people because their child has just been forcibly removed off them. You won't hear about it on ours because they're blocking it, but there's thousands of families out on the street in France now protesting because one child has been taken. So we need to get the numbers up for our children. These are our future, and they are taking them. And we know that there is a depopulation agenda. So please spread the word. Message me on Messenger. I can still get my Messenger, but nobody can share my lives. I only get about at the most 15 viewers, and then when they try to share my lives, they're not able to. They say that they can't click on them, they're not available. So yeah, so again, I'll tell you tomorrow, Thursday, sorry, the 16th and the 17th of June, we are at the Teaching and Learning Building, the University of Birmingham, which is B152TT. They register, their registration time is 8:30 AM, but obviously they'll be in and out all day. They're staying in a hotel nearby. And it is a peaceful protest. We do have a loudspeaker, but we will not be. We will be causing no loss, harm, or injury, and we are just there to protest the trafficking of our children through social services. So thank you very much. My email address once again is.
Have you said what the meeting's for there tomorrow? So at the have you mentioned what it's all about? What they're getting? What they're doing there? Or?
It is. Yeah, it's a vibrant 2-day hybrid event. Is British Association of Social Workers, the biggest event attended by hundreds of social workers from across the UK. The landmark event is led by the Voice of Social Work for social workers and brings together a range of keynote speakers, workshops, plus a festival of enjoyment and well-being exercises. Yeah, so it is the British Association of Social Work UK Social Work Conference, Festival and an AGM 2022, which is an annual general meeting. So they're going to have a festival, they are going to celebrate something. Well, we're not celebrating what these social workers are doing to our children. And the good ones are leaving, and they are bringing in foreign social workers by the thousands to take the places of the British social workers, the white British social workers that are leaving. They're leaving in their droves, they're turning to drink and alcohol, and they are sometimes committing suicide because they can't cope with what's going on in their profession. So I don't know what really they've got to celebrate, but we will be seeing a lot of surprise faces on Thursday morning when they come to hear.
Give your email address again,
yeah. So what we're doing is also, if you just come on, we are collecting stories, and I want you to share this on your on all your lives. That we're collecting people's experiences of children's services and how they have wronged them by removing their children, and it can be as short or as long. If you need help, please PM me, and we have ladies that can help you to even write your story. We've got a group in Birmingham that will sit and listen to you and then able to write it, because so many people, it's too traumatizing to sit and write it all out. So we have a group of people that can help you do that as well. So that is the People's Assembly in Birmingham. So my email address to send your stories to, or anybody that you know that's been affected by social services, is JANELSPETH@proton, PROTON, mail.com. So thank you for listening to me. And thank you so much, Maria, for letting me come on your live. And I hope you don't have too much backlash.
I don't give a shit.
That's what Angie. I told Angie that I didn't want to cause you any bother, and she said she won't care 2 hoots. We've just got to get this out. That's right, Pam. No. JaneElspeth@protonmail.com. And we all know, unfortunately, everybody seems to know these days somebody that has been affected by social services. And unfortunately, it's all the communities, all the religions, you know, all the different communities, the Sikh community, the Hindu community, the Muslim community. They're not just targeting white British children, they're targeting every community. and we're finding that...
Can someone just put Jane's email on here so that I can... Sorry, can someone just put Jane's
Yeah,
email on here so that I can pin it,
somebody's
please?
just done it. Yeah,
I've
they've just done
it.
It's just Celine Aurora has just put it on.
Oh, she's a good one.
I can write it on. I can comment. I'll put it on as well. Jane Elspeth. And I can just do it like that. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Just put it on for you. All right. I'm really sorry, and I do understand that some people, this will have triggered them as well, because you may have had yourselves issues with social services or had your children removed. I do apologise for having to speak about this, but if we raise awareness, I've just had one major alternative news, well, two actually, alternative news channels contacted me this week. One of them, I've done an interview yesterday. I'm not going to mention yet because I don't want this to be jinxed in any way, shape or form. I had an interview yesterday with one of the main alternative news, and I've been trying to get them to speak to me for 2 years. So I do feel that there's a shift somehow. And then I had another one contact me yesterday, which I nearly fell off the sofa when I found out who it was. He's a major one. So he's going to get back to me. He said, we need to start talking about this. And I said, yes, you do. And I've been trying to do that with you for 2 years. And in the meantime, more children have disappeared. So I'm just grateful now that people are trying to raise awareness. So, all right. Well, thank you very much, Maria. And I've got somebody rang me, and I did say that I would be available at this time. So and it's a private number, but
yeah.
I can message her back. So, all right.
But what it is, Jane, the more people that speak out now, rather, because people get scared to speak out, because they get told by a social worker, whatever, no, you haven't got a right to your child, you haven't got this, and they take that right away. You need to fight that. You need to argue that. Don't just think that, oh, they're in authority, they know best, there's nothing I can do. There's always something you can do.
I'll just give a bit of advice as well about that. What we're telling people to do is do not open your front door when you I mean, we all just think, oh, we'll go and see who's at the door, you know, and it's nice to have a visitor, or it's nice to get a parcel. But in this day and age, they're coming for our children in many different ways. And free Big Si, yay, we went to see him. In many ways, they're trying to get the children. So if you get a knock on your front door and you've got children, don't open the door, just ask through the door who it is. If it's a social worker, you do not open the door, do not even try to open your window to talk to them, because they can even climb through a window. These social workers are desperate. They don't see your children, they just see their next big money payout, because they are getting thousands of pounds for every child that they're snatching. So just be very aware, record everything through the door. You know, record you telling them, I do not comply, I do not consent, I am not, what's the other thing that you say? I'm not going to enter into a, what's the word?
Contract.
Enter into a contract. I will not enter into a contract with you. If you speak this language, and you really, you know, and you will need a court order, you know, to get in my house. You do not let anyone across your threshold, because if you open the door and let them in, you are consenting to them starting the whole process, because they will build a case, and they will lie, and they will put words in your mouth, and they will make you agree to things. They make you sign things that you don't want to sign, and they have no power unless you give them the power. So we do not open the door.
Illegal. It's also illegal for them to ask your children leading questions. It's actually a breach of Article 8. It's a massive. They're not allowed to ask children.
When you get to court, if it goes to court, which we don't want people to go to court, the thing is that we do not comply. If you go into the court, your children will be lost, unfortunately, because they will not listen to any good. They will not listen to your witnesses. They will not listen. They have the agenda. They have a meeting before even the court starts, without you, only with the solicitors, who are all complicit. They're all working for the same corporate business of removing children. So your solicitor will not fight for you. They will just know what they intend on doing, and they will go along with what the social worker has put in place. So the thing is not to get into the family court in the first place, and that's what we're really trying to get across to people, that it doesn't matter what they say. They will lie to you. They will say, they will split you up. If you've got a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you know, you've got the parental responsibility, they will try to split you up. They will say, we will give you a child if you don't have your boyfriend or whatever. Nothing works. Whatever they try to say to you to tell you that you'll keep your child are all lies. None of it will work. They're just trying to break you and your partner away from each other to make it easier for them to remove the children. So yeah, thank you, and I'm raising awareness. Thank you for reminding me to highlight that as well, Maria, because I should have done that. And I will come on again at any time. It's just so lovely to see people actually watching. I've been, yeah, it's like being on the, have you heard of the Truman Show? Facebook, to me, it's like, you know, it's all orchestrated on my Facebook page. Nothing's real. So this is lovely to have.
I'm going to put the link again on the Survivors Standing Together page, because that's where a lot of people speak out about it as well.
Thank you so much.
We'll get as many people out there as we can. You don't realise how many people it affects.
No, and I do need to speak. If anybody knows any more podcasters, anybody with platforms where I can go and speak about this, we need to expose it to everybody, just to protect the children of tomorrow. Because if people know what's going on, then they can be protected. But at the moment, I mean, we can't stop. I mean, it's a multi-billion-pound industry, so it will come crashing down, and they're building a whole economy on it. So they don't want it to end, you know. But if we can raise awareness so that it makes it harder for them to operate, that's what I want to do for the moment. But we are going to take it to the European human rights.
Asha said, I don't understand how all this is possible. That's because the government don't want you to understand that, because they hide it.
No. Well, the government, if you want me to explain that a little bit to you, they privatised fostering and adoption over the last 10 years. Ours up here is called Coast to Coast Regional Adoption Agency. Now, once these children go out of the duty of care of a council, this is why they did this. Tony Blair started this in 2008. Once they go out of duty of care, there's no more guardianship to find out whether the children are okay once they're adopted. So the adoption agencies take them, and then they can sell them on wherever they want. We've got social workers that have yachts, recruitment agencies, social work recruitment agencies, and also have a recruitment agency for yacht hands. They take them on yachts, they take them on ships, they take them on submarines, they take them through tunnels. Just if you hear what's happening in America and in other countries, Australia and Canada, the same thing is happening here, but it's hidden. And just one other thing, our senior regional governance officer, who is the head of our adoption agency, is a man called Sandip Mahajan, and he is a multi-billionaire director of 44 global companies, one of which is Steinhoff, which is the biggest mover of furniture globally around the world. Now, I asked my MP, if this isn't child trafficking, what the hell is this man doing at the top of our regional adoption agency? And that I found on the minutes of a council meeting where they were setting up the adoption agency. And when I told my MP that, it all took it all got took down.